Alright, so this time I'm gonna explain the entire speedrun of ANH, 80%, in survivors. In this case I'm gonna play on extreme, so I can explain everything in my own pace. Alright. So first thing I already want to mention is, actually I'm gonna mention it on the first pop-up. Anyways, we started off with a first signing emergency shift. The reason for that is I'm gonna explain it once I'm using it. And here we wanna start off with this wood crates first. Then we go here to this wood crates, here to the steel racks, and then to the coal pile. In this exact order. Also, you wanna use your arrow keys, or like arrow keys, but you wanna use the keys to move through the wood. So, I'm going in here first, because with the arrow keys it's faster, and putting the engineers first here. The reason for that is because I wanna put the first workers in here, and as you can see, those workers are the closest by to this workplace. And this is very important for this workplace especially, because we want to put right here a workshop. And then you just fill those ones. The reason why this proportion is just speed, really. It's not the most efficient one, but we don't have to have the most efficient one to get the lowest time. Yeah. So that explains the entire proportion. If you wanna know how to speed up this process, is like use the arrow keys with the filling. Oh no, wait, I'm gonna explain that one with the building once we start building. Anyways, then you wait at around 9:40, because then you get enough steel for the workshop, and you wanna build it right at the edge, so people can get from this workplace as fast as possible to the workshop, so they can start researching already as soon as possible. You just remove everyone with none and then back to max, and then while this one is building, you start removing the engineers, and then you put them in here. Start the emergency shift now, and the reason why you start the emergency shift now is you're already getting the discontent, so it can get removed or like get built away now instead of later. And then you just research beacon and move on. And while they are all working, you just wanna build a cookhouse right here. And you want to build 4 tents right here. And this thing you wanna do before you wanna do it before the 17? No. Before 18 PM, because otherwise you get a extra pop-up which asks you to build houses. And if you already build houses before 6 PM, this pop-up not gonna happen on day 1. Alright. So that's that. Also the reason why we wanna build the cookhouse right here instead of somewhere else is most people work in this area, and the entire reason why we build a cookhouse is we wanna cook as soon as possible, so we are gonna put also 24-hour shifts right here. Here obviously to get the beacon as soon as possible research. And yeah, we wanna cook as soon as possible, so you gotta understand that this entire eating cycle this entire getting hungry and then becoming starving and then dying is an entire cycle. And once they have eaten, this entire cycle resets to 0. And people will now become hungry, and once they become starving, they're gonna eat the raw food. So what we wanna do now is let them eat the entire rations as soon as possible. That means that we're gonna cook as soon as possible so people can eat as soon as possible. And in simple terms, you just want them to die as soon as possible. So we are gonna remove the 5 workers from here. We wanna turn on the generator right now at 20, so we don't get a pop-up that buys the generator off. And we are gonna let it run it until like 11 PM. Alright. Once the cookhouse is done, we're just gonna run a 24-hour shift with the 5 people from the coal pipe. And once the houses are finished building, we're just gonna disable them because really we don't need them. And now our focus lies on the 23, and then we turn them off, finishing the last tent. And once we have finished all the raw food, we're just removing those 5 workers so nobody dies tonight. Now we let the game run until the research is finished. Once the research is finished, we are just gonna dismantle the workshop because we researched everything that we need. We can put the workers back to the coal and then the 5 engineers back to the wood. Now we wanna assign cemetery, and after that we are just gonna assign the chapel once we unlock it, and that's it. Or houses of prayer, as you wanna call it. We can already build it right now. There is nothing against it. We can place it right there, but actually I'm not gonna do that. And the reason for that is we wanna have the scouts sent out as soon as possible. So we're just gonna wait. I'm gonna explain later why it has to be 4 houses. And we also not dismantling the cookhouse so people can eat actually in there. If we dismantle it, then people gonna become starving again and only then eat the raw food, the food rations. And that's why people dismantle the cookhouse. It's just so people getting delayed to eat, which is a famous bug. So yeah, this time we're just gonna let the game run until we get the beacon. Okay, and once we get the beacon, we just build it, remove those 5 workers. Actually, not just those 5 workers, we remove all the workers. You can actually say no, the engineers are not getting removed. That's fine, but those ones we wanna remove, so they start building not only the beacon but also go to eat, and they start eating actually around 1 to 2 PM. So by working for this short time, by walking, you're not deleting this starvation process because they are not hungry yet until it's 1, 2 PM. So as you can see, people just moving like there, and some of them start going to and now they're like starting to go to the cookhouse. Alright, once we build the beacon, we are just gonna go to the Lost Expedition. And yeah, you can also remove those workers from the wood crate and build now a cemetery. Actually, never mind, you could have built a cemetery right away. With the, like, once you signed the cemetery, you could have started building it right away. And the reason for that is basically we had enough wood. And also we don't need any more wood now. Actually, never mind, we need a bit of wood. Yeah, I think it was 14. Yeah, we just need 14 wood. The reason why 14 wood is we are gonna dismantle the beacon, and that will give us 16 wood and 27 steel. And this is enough for one chapel. And this is the last building we're gonna build. So yeah, the rest of those people can work in the coal now, and we can just let the game run now. Alright, before it's getting like 6 PM, I want to turn on one tent, and the reason for that is so I'm not getting one specific event, or like I'm getting one specific event that I want. Actually, we didn't have to gather more wood. It was actually enough because we can dismantle the cookhouse now, since everybody has eaten. So I'm also turning on the generator right now. Okay, that was a slight mistake from my side, because now if I turn it off, I think it's taking too long to turn off. Okay, listen of the crowds. We are not gonna sign any law because there's no law needed to be signed. Oh man. This is now luck based. Oh freak. Send the survivors to the city. Yeah, you send the survivors to the city and then still shelter. I think I need to be lucky now. I think I'm lucky now. So, to explain what I mean with this now, is you want the... By the way, we can turn off the tent now. We want the generator to be at 0, so people freeze to death this night. So I didn't want to get it to 100%, but I think people are still gonna freeze to death tonight. So yeah, we wanted to get the generator like to 50% and then turn it off, to not get this one pop-up that asks us, why is the generator off? Also, one thing I want to mention is on day 2 at around 6 PM, yeah, around 6 PM to like night, I didn't get a single pop-up. And this was RNG. This is RNG. There's nothing to do about it. You usually get a pop-up, and when you get a pop-up, it tells you either get more tents, and then you would actually decline it. Yeah, never mind. You didn't have to turn on the tents at all. You could have just let them all turned off, because you want to decline this event anyways. And if I turned it on, so I could get like the medical post event, but I was thinking wrongly. You don't have to accept it, you can just decline it, and this is the better solution to that, because we have 4 tents, and 4 tents is enough to manage the discontent. Alright, let's see if people die. I pray to God that people die this night, and that I didn't screw up. Yes, people die, good. Hope will fall. Yeah, so hope falls to this amount. Hope will fall further. And that's why we built the cemetery, so hope falls not too fast. We want the hope to fall on day 4. And yeah, basically after people died, you can turn on the tents, and now you just let the game run until those people, actually until the scouts arrive at its place. Actually, this is really little amount of discontent. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, it's so little amount of discontent because I didn't have to decline because of RNG. Otherwise, you would have gotten more. Alright, hope will fall. That's fine. This event makes sense. So people arrive to our city now, And then you can start working here right away. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain, but I explain it now with the pop-ups. So once this pop-up appears, you can immediately cancel the appearance of the pop-up by pressing this button. But there's also an animation to disappear, and you can cancel that one as well with ESC. And then the game runs, even though the animation still is there, it's shorter. So every time a pop-up happens, you wanna press ESC twice or escape twice to cancel this animation as well, so the game can run sooner, which is a time save. A difficult one, but it's a good time save for every single pop-up. So press before the button even appears. Once you click on the pop-up, before the button even appears, you click on the button where it's allocated, and then once it's disappearing, you press escape twice to let it disappear or skip the disappearance animation. So there are two skips you can do in this game. Oh, also one thing I didn't explain with the thing with houses placement with the camera. It's like such a little thing, so silly, and it saves like milliseconds. Really fucking milliseconds, but it's still a time save I wanna say here because people don't think about it. And it's obviously you want to use your keybinds to do stuff, like keybind for adaptation, keybind for the research, but yeah. So here's the thing. You can move your camera and you can move your mouse. So why not move both at the same time? If you can do it pretty precise, it's like a milliseconds time skip. So for example, you wanna build a house here, like the cookhouse here. You just go straight up here and build the cookhouse and have the placement here. Like my mouse is around this area instead of like I'm here and then my mouse has to move this entire way from here to here. So yeah. So you want to have around this placement because it's like straight away, not much mouse movement needed. So this applies for building the houses, this applies for this here, for the steel racks. So you allocate it here. Actually, no, this applies even here. So you start the game here, then you go here, you place it here, then you use the mouse twice, then you go here with the mouse, press here, and then you move the mouse here and press here. So yeah, here you can use the keybinds, but once you're here, you need to use the mouse to change to steel racks, and the same for coal pipe. I hope this explanation was clear enough. It's just like as little as possible of mouse movement, so things happen faster. Same with animation cancel. And obviously you can go insanely deep to save like a millisecond or two easier the stuff, for example a lighter mouse. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that this is also some improvement stuff. I think there's not more to say about that. Alright, anyways, back to the routing of the speedrun. So yeah, you just let them work now and chill out. Okay, pop-up appears, you don't address shit. You don't wanna accept those quests, because once they can screw you kinda over, like not really, but actually they can. Yes, they can screw you over after finishing the Londoners arc, with hope going to 0. So you wanna decline them because of that, and secondary, because if you accept those quests, you're gonna either fail or succeed, and that gives you like a pop-up that says, hey, you succeeded, hey, you failed, and you wanna avoid those ones, obviously. Alright, I forgot to turn on the generator. You wanna turn on the generator, but not too much. Like 24 and then turn it off again. I turned the hoses on earlier, I think I already explained, so that this content doesn't go too high. And now it's 0. You can also start turning them off at 1 AM, doesn't matter. And you do it again so people die faster. Alright, we found the bridge of Winterhome. Here it's very important that we don't send the automaton, but we dismantle it. And the reason for that, also here you can animation cancel, but not with the escape one, just the appearance. Or maybe you can do the escape one too. I actually didn't try. I think you can do it, but I don't think it's a time save, because you can't let the clock run in the Frostland. Yeah. So the reason why you don't want the automaton is once the automaton arrives, that gives you a pop-up that you have to accept. And secondary, we don't need the automaton. And the reason why we don't need the automaton is the only reason we needed the automaton in my world record speedrun, current world record, it's very easy to beat once you know the route, is I did it a bit easier by just letting the automaton work and gather the coal. But since we are gathering the coal now, and the only reason to gather the coal is to avoid this one pop-up that the generator is off, we don't need it. So hope falls likely, that's exactly what we want. We want people to die now and hope going to 0. Alright. Here hope goes to 0. Notice how this pop-up happens at 5 AM. The game calculates a lot of stuff like at the exact hour of at the exact hour, like 5, like 6, like 7, and so on and so forth. For example, all those pop-up events are actually calculated at the exact hour. 6 PM are the most pop-ups calculated, and the discontent and hope events are calculated there. And yeah, the reason why we want the hope going to 0 before the discontent is now we can get discontent to 200%, 500%, it doesn't matter. We are not gonna lose because of discontent, since we are right now at a timer to lose because of hope. It can happen that at the same time you get both of those events, and then you're just unlucky. You can just restart the run. But anyways, so that's the reason why we want the hope first, and the second reason is we wanna finish the Londoners arc on day 5, and on day 5, once we finish the Londoners arc, we're getting more than 50% of the hope, and then this event is just like no problem, we just got rid of it. And we wanna finish Londoners arc on day 5. If we don't finish it on day 5, the run's over. So it's a great time that we get 2 days to convince the people to trust us again. So yeah, just explaining simple stuff so you understand why I'm doing certain things. So, alright, here we are basically doing absolutely nothing, like absolutely nothing. Somebody gonna get frostbitten right now, here, and you just say I see, we don't wanna open the laws. And I did backtesting, like if you don't have people work in the freezing cold, it doesn't matter, this pop-up happens anyways because people are freezing anywhere, honestly. So, yeah. Alright, weather station, and then the last thing is Winterhell. So we're moving on. Abandoned station, we don't give a shit. You can remove those people from their workplaces. Yeah, let's just remove them, it doesn't matter too much. Only reason why it matters is like they can start dismantling the beacon once we're finding winter hell, but that's it. Here we're just not addressing anything. I didn't get the pop-up that the generator is off, which is lucky, but yeah, you don't wanna gamble on that one. Yeah, so we want all of those people to die. And the reason for that, you're gonna see why. Or the reason for that is simply just to finish Londoners arc as soon as possible by killing all the Londoners. We're on our own, so people realize that. Once people realize, we're gonna go with the faith path and use Houses of Prayer. The reason why we're going with Houses of Prayer is basically we don't need the people to work in this facility to give us hope. And the hope is gonna be important after we finish the Londoners, because it's gonna decline. But anyways, you're gonna see it. I'm dismantling the beacon now. The only reason I'm dismantling the beacon is for the resources. It's not because of the bug that we can have zero population. We can have zero population without losing the game. So I'm gonna explain this. Basically, the scouts are bugged, and I think it happens right now where you are finding Winterhell, or Winterhome if you wanna call it. There's, I think, some bug in the code which makes it now that if you lose your entire population, you're not losing the game. I'm not 100% sure if it's actually because of Winterhell, but if you put the scouts back into your city, then this bug disappears and you will lose if all adults die, or like all people. Yeah, and so right now it's bugged. If the scouts die, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna lose because you have zero population. Anyways, so yeah, that's that. We are now in the scenario with the Londoners. Ah, man. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna, for safety, do a save. It's called speed. I'm going to the autosave. Gonna quick save right here. And then going back. Well, not here, but like I wanna go back to the speed. The reason why I'm doing a save is this is now ANH. I can't tell you definitely that I'm gonna finish the Londoners arc now on day 5, and if this doesn't happen, it's game over. So I'm gonna go back and then let the game run again and hope that this time it will actually let me finish the Londoners arc. Yeah, so people die, there's only one Londoner left, but it has to be on this day that this London is finished. We are not addressing anything anymore. And yeah, 1, 2, yeah, see, I'm not gonna finish this Londoner arc on this day. And if I go to speed now, it will be the same. So yeah, just let it run. window here, we are dismantling this one. Going with the chapel. Houses of prayer. Numbers up here. Of course, on those pop-ups, instead of pressing this button, you can press escape. Just a thing to mention. So, keep it chapel, and we just pray. If I didn't explain why 4 tents instead of 2 or 3, it's basically that we can decline all the pop-ups, and if we would accept it instead to just have like 2 tents, it would be a bit slower. Oh man, I got unlucky again. There's again 1 Londoner left with 8 people. Sucks. This quick save is before finding Londoners, yeah, so this one is fine. Yeah, I would call say it's like 1 out of 4, like 1 out of 4 attempts you're gonna finish the Londoners arc successfully. And then 1 out of 4 you finish the thing after that as well. I mean, both together. You like 1 out of 4 runs is ANH successful. Alright, now it's just 1 left. Oh man, I'm getting so unlucky. No. Yeah. Also, you wanna build houses of prayer and everything now, and dismantle the beacon now, because you still have people left. Once you don't have people, nobody's gonna build that shit. Until new people arrive, of course. Alright, so this time, can we get good ANH? Oh, you don't have to press on this. Okay, we got good ANH. So nice, nice. Yeah, now people are pissed. This is completely fine. This is completely calculated. Okay. I totally forgot that you don't have to press on that thing to disappear on this pop-up. Oh, this is gonna save so much time for you. So, yeah, we are gonna decline every single request of the people, and then we getting this content. So you don't have to press on the shitty button to like waste time declining, because it's gonna decline automatically just by letting the time run out. But for most pop-ups, or like for all other pop-ups that are not requests from your people at 6 PM, they're gonna pop up anyways at your screen, even if you don't click on them. But yeah, as you can see, it's just ANH if you finish Londoners Arc or not. So in this case, I finished it. I did a quick save, and now we got enough hope, but now we have the problem with the discontent. Also, now it's 24 hours until 10 or 11 people arrive. We're gonna see if it's 10 or 11 people. But yeah, on day 6 at the 21, it's 10 people gonna arrive. So once the people arrive and we didn't kill all those 10 people here, the discontent is not going to get reduced to 0, which means the run is over, because we can't reduce discontent in time, which is 2 days. So yeah, now we're basically doing absolutely nothing. We're just waiting until all of those people die. But so far it looks pretty good. Also we can turn on the tents, 1 tent, so we have always enough hope. Okay, looks good. Now we just need 1 guy to die before, great. So as you can see, our entire population died, and our discontent got reduced to 0, and our hope got reduced to 0. I had to turn on 2 tents just for the good measures, but you just need to turn on 1 tent. But because like 10 people or 11 people gonna come, it's not gonna be enough space for the people in this tent, so I'm just gonna turn on 2. Alright, now at 21 the people arrive. Also you wanna turn on the generator right now, and you just turn it off again. And this is something you want to do now every single day. Basically you wanted to do it every single day already. We're not gonna sign any laws because there's no laws that we need to sign. Rebirth of Faith, nice. And we got 11 people. I don't know why it's 11 people, not 10, but whatever. They're already hungry, and we don't want to turn on off the tents. And the reason why we don't want, the pop-up also appears. It appears actually always 15 minutes after, let's be cautious. It appears always 15 minutes after the day already got added to your city. Yeah, so we don't want to turn off the tents at any time, because those people gonna die anyways. That's the first thing to note. Second thing is, we wanna keep the hope high enough. We wanna always keep it high enough so we don't lose the hope. Now the only thing we have to be careful a little bit is about this quest. We are not gonna succeed this quest, and this can fuck us over by reducing our hope to 0, and if we don't press on this button soon enough, we could possibly lose because of hope. So this is the only thing to keep in mind while those 11 people are dying. And to not turn off tents to kill them faster, because this also lets our hope go to 0, like, yeah. Now we would lose to hope at 23. So yeah, now we're just waiting until those people die and until those refugees arrive. Nothing more to say about it. And look, watch out for any pop-ups. Already become starving. That's good. Discontent gonna rise, but this is no problem. I'm gonna explain what is gonna happen exactly. We don't address stuff, as always. Yes, lower discontent. Now here's the thing. You see we have right now discontent, but once those refugees arrive, this is gonna disappear. And the reason for that is, once the refugees arrive, the game adds those people to your city. So they are getting added to your popularity, and you have more people that are not pissed, so the discontent gonna getting reduced so much that this quest is gonna succeed. So, okay, I forgot it. You shouldn't forget it. Always turn on the generator at around 7 PM to 11 PM. So people arrive, we send them on their way back, hope getting reduced, but it doesn't matter, the hope is gonna get refilled automatically. And as you can see, the discontent event did disappear because for this short moment we had those people in our population. And then once the discontent event disappears, it takes exactly 24 hours to reappear, or like to get this quest again. So yeah, not much to do, you're just waiting until those people die. I won't address this right now. So people dying because of starvation, that's nice. Here, again people came again, discontent was low enough. Again, it happened like this. So is the sky dying first? Okay, the sky died before the event, this one failed. But let's say this one failed, we got reduced hope to 0, you would just immediately use this one, 0 more. And then you would have the hope back. Alright, but now that the people did all die, discontent goes to 0, hope goes to 0. For some fucking reason you don't lose the hope anymore. You can do whatever you want, you can turn them off, you can dismantle them, you can not, like, I don't know, it doesn't matter what you do now, because the last refugees wave are gonna arrive. Okay. I just let it play until the refugees wave. And I'm also just going to turn on so that those ones have a home, although they know are never gonna get back home. Always turn on the generator, I already explained. I'm just not doing it because I forget, I'm lazy. And then you send away the last ones, and now the sun is gonna come. And you just keep going and do absolutely nothing. There's no events that gonna pop up, except the generators being turned off. So yeah. Okay, one thing I wanna mention is why did I already disable the beacon and didn't go to like get the refugees so they can come faster to my city. So for that you gotta understand that the first 2 waves don't speed up. So if you get the first wave, the second wave is not gonna come sooner. And the same applies for the third wave. So if you get the second wave faster, the third wave doesn't arrive sooner. Only exception is with cheats, where you're just like seeing, oh, the third wave is now on the map. You just gather the second wave and the third wave immediately. But this is only with cheats. If you don't use cheats where you insta scout, then yeah, obviously you don't with the speedrun. Just want to mention that one. So anyways, so the only time save here you can actually get is by rescuing, or not rescuing, but putting your scouts on the third wave. So you move your scouts to the third wave, so the third wave arrives sooner. This is the only time save that exists with this scenario, but the reason why we didn't do it is it doesn't change anything, because without upgrades the time save is around 3 hours at best, and with upgrades I think it's okay, maybe 6 hours at best. So with upgrades it's just saving 6 hours, and this entire refugees arc takes a bit less than 4 days. So you can figure it out, it takes like 3 days and 18 hours. This is the lowest amount you can get around. Maybe you can go lower, maybe higher, depends on some stuff. But yeah, in this case, in this specific speedrun, it doesn't matter if you save this 3 hours or even possibly 6 hours. Even if you save like let's say 23 hours, it still wouldn't change this run. Maybe with 23 hours, maybe it would actually change the run. But as long as it's not like 12 hours save, like 16 hours save actually. Yeah, as long as it's not 16-hour time save, it's not changing the speed run in terms of how soon you're gonna finish the game. So yeah, as long as the Londoners arc is finished on day 5, you don't have to worry about the days. It's gonna run until day 23, and as far as I know, there is no way possible to get the speedrun finished on day 22. Even if you don't speedrun it, even if you optimize everything to perfection, it's first a lot of RNG, secondarily it's impossible. I give it a slight chance that it's possible on day 22, but the RNG is like horrible. I would say like 1 out of 100 times first, and secondarily there is a lot more micromanagement that you have to do, which would slow down this speedrun significantly. And I don't think it's worth this 1 day time save. So this is what I wanted to add about why I didn't go and got the third wave of the refugees, because it doesn't change anything. Just actually it would lose you time because you are zooming out to the Frostland where the timer is not running, and you are moving scouts as well. So this way it's just a few seconds time save. And I think I mentioned already, I just destroyed the beacon for the sake of building the chapel. To have enough resources for the sake of building the chapel, not for any bug that is currently happening right now. So yeah, this is the entire speedrun. I said every day the only pop-up you're getting is the generator pop-up, and 2 days before the storm there are 2 more pop-ups, which is one is people are starting to fight about the resources, and then the second one is where they're actually fighting the resources, kinda. And then you have to decide do you give them resources or not. Obviously it doesn't matter what you do there. So yeah, those 2 are the only pop-ups now to keep in mind, and the generator one, which obviously you have enough coal to turn on at 7 to 11 PM. And I don't remember quite, maybe there is like a pop-up, I think there's like a pop-up at the end of the storm kinda, where everybody's just praying, or like these are the last hours that decide our city. But yeah, you're gonna figure it out. You can actually check my world record speedrun there. You can see if there was anything like this. And yeah, those 5 scouts never gonna come back to city. Once the storm arrives at Winterhell, they're gonna die, and you're gonna have 0 out of 0, but you're not gonna lose. So yeah. This was now the entire explanation, like really the entirety of the speedrun. I didn't forget a single thing, and yeah, whoever's trying, G-Wise, I'm not really sure if that's your name, but yeah, G-Wise and J-Cube, I hope I spelled both right. Good luck getting a sub 20. Sub 21 is definitely doable, like my speedrun was just horrible, but sub 20 would be very interesting to see. So yeah, and to all the others who wanna try it, good luck and have fun.